Did you have opening batsmen who sledged you?
No, don't. Well, one, Graeme Smith, he was the only one. I was in the first time he did it, I was a bit taken back by it. It's like, he hit him a couple of times, and the first 2 games he got double hundreds in them, so he didn't have much. We didn't have much to say back to him. But over the years, that was a great battle. He would come and sledge you, and then after a while, he realised that he's doing it to get himself going. It was
say nothing back.
Say nothing back. Well, not so much say nothing back, but nothing.
But so when Smith was sledging you, the stuff that you can share, what was the tenor of it?
He was just telling us that you've got maybe one more over, and your backside will be going, you'll be tired, and we'll capitalise on that, and you're not very good. And I mean, he was a feisty character, was Graeme Smith. Again, one of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet off the field, but another one on the field who needed to get into a contest, wanted to get into a contest. He was very good at getting into a contest.
Fine player. As Wokes bowls outside the off stump, no shot from Mitchell. Well, he came over here as a young captain. It's the end of the over, and in fact it's going to be Neil Manthorp. But he came over here as a young captain, and I can remember in the Stephen Fleming days, Steve Harmison was coach of the New Zealand side, and they gave Smith a very tough and torrid time with the mouth.
I played in his first game as a captain, and Nasser Hussain called him by the wrong name. Manners will tell us more. At the toss, he didn't know his name, and so that upset Graeme Smith. So, but what a character, what a player. Characters like that, I wouldn't say they've gone out of the game. He had his own unique style of batting as well. Very difficult to bowl to. He said double 100 at Lords, double 100 at Edgbaston. Finished off Darren Goff's career. Finished off Nasser Hussain's career as captain.
Graeme Smith was appointed captain of South Africa at the age of almost 23, and it's incredibly young, and he went on to captain South Africa in more tests than anybody else has ever captained their team. And it was interesting. He had some senior players in that South African team, and he was at one point he was captain. He was the youngest player in the team.
He was fiery as well, even with his own team.
But here's Stokes again, clipped away through square leg, and they go through for a single. I'm chuckling because there were a few players who were quite chastened by the words that their captain delivered at them. They were his teammates, but
at least Nasser Hussain, my captain, had nearly 100 Test matches behind him.
Do you know what? I still think that the biggest challenge that Graeme Smith ever had was to captain the World 11 in the Super Test against Australia, which I thought very naively at the time was a great idea, but it was destined never ever to work and never to be repeated. Turned away through square leg by Kane Williamson, and he's kept the strike. It was the end of the over, so Williamson moves on to 37, 74 for 3. So it's one thing captaining your predecessor, Sean Pollock, and captaining senior players, Gary Kirsten and the like. It's quite another when you've got Steve Harmison and Andrew Flintoff and
Brian Lara,
Inzamam Hack.
Yeah, it got well. You see, it wasn't a very good contest. It wasn't a very good idea. It got my kids a free holiday to Australia, there and back business class, which was very much needed at the time. But no, it wasn't. The day before, 2 days before the game, the slip fielding practice was absolutely brilliant. Inzi standing there at second slip, to which Graeme walked up and went, "You're not fielding there." And Inzi was at mid-off, mid-on and mid-off. He didn't. He just walked straight in the dressing room, and that was the end of Inzi's fielding practice.
Here's Bryden Cast thundering into Kane Williamson, who's once more on the back foot playing defensively. Do you remember it was scheduled for 6 days?
It was scheduled for 6 days.
It finished in 3.5.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest spectacle. We had Estella, at the time, you're right, naively thought it was a good idea. Just showed you a team will always beat a team of individuals. Will always, no matter if the individuals are classed as better or from a performance point of view, was a top 10 players 11 players in the world rankings.